Okay, I'm recording.
I'm on the flag squad.
I can see.
Welcome! We are
The Sisters of the Holy Fiber. I'm Devin, aka Rambunctious Guy.
And I'm Heather, also known as Smacking on a Haiku, or Tiny Kiwi.
Yeah, that's the real one.
Yeah.
So, I don't think I've shown this to you in a really long time. What are we currently working on? I'm working on this giant blanket.
That's giant.
It keeps going. Oh, it keeps going. And going.
Hot diggity. That's a real blanket.
I love it. It's great. It's going to be a great gift for my cousin who's getting married. However, I
have to interrupt.
Wait. Who got married? Excuse me. She got married. I am still within the year of gifting, however. I am still within my year of gifting. So, I still have time. And, I'm running out of yarn. So, it's gonna end soon. Or I might order more yarn because it's not quite long enough. I want it to be longer. And so I made it wide enough for two people, right? Because as a marriage blanket, you want to be wide enough for two people. But now it's so wide that it's not quite long enough. It's like lap coverage. Yeah. So we'll see. But, I'm really happy with the pattern.
Yeah.
Yes. I got it from one of my Japanese stitch dictionaries. And I love it. And I've done it 5 billion times now, so I don't have to look at the pattern anymore.
Yep.
Yes. So that's what I mostly work on, and then every once in a while I'm like, too much blanket! And then I do something else.
Testify.
So I did cast on some socks because I was reorganizing my yarn stash. As you do. And, so I cast these socks on.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yes. It's called Aurora Borealis.
So
yeah, the yarn's really pretty. And I got this stitch pattern out of my stitch dictionary again. It has these, like, little tiny cables, but these, like, little panels of, garter stitch in between columns of knit.
It looks like it looks like seat stitch.
Nope, it's garter. So it's good for, like, this kind of yarn where you're like, I don't know what the yarn's gonna do, but I don't want it to look dumb. So, that's good for that. They're too small.
Oh.
So, they are going into the Frogger tonight. And then I will cast on an extra repeat and do them over. I thought it might happen because the yarn's kind of thin for a sock yarn. And then, this pattern has some cables in it. But even just like, so I put it on my foot and even like the ribbing part here was too tight. And I'm just like, I'm not going to wear them. I'm going to be too tight. I'm not going to wear them. And I'm like not that far in. I'm a little bit in, but I'm not that far in. I'll just rip it out and do it right.
Yeah, better than when you've already done all the toe and heel shaping, you know.
And then you have to give it away because you're like, well, screw it. I'm just going to start another pair of socks. So.
Although it's been good for me because I ended up with a pair of your socks that you got rid of, so. Which are actually just drying on the line right now because I wear them all the time. And my birthday socks.
And those, it wasn't that they didn't fit, it's that I ran out of yarn, and then I had to use too much gray for the toe than I liked, and then I just didn't like them, and then you love them, and they should be loved. They should be loved. So I'm glad they're getting loved.
Yeah, because honestly, at the rate that I'm wearing them, I'm probably going to wear those green socks out before anything else.
Good.
The only thing that slows me down is having to wash them in wool wash instead of like the regular wash.
Yeah.
Because I did try them in a net bag in my little wash machine, and it still got a little too not felty, but pilly. So, because my wash machine's not a general like a big size all-purpose wash machine. It's just like a little one with no central agitator. So I thought maybe,
And
but
they're great. I have the same one because she got it, and then I was like, I want one, and then now I have it, and now instead of having to go outside my apartment to do my laundry, I can do it in my house.
right,
So
works out.
yeah, they're great. Anyway,
Yeah.
what are you working on?
FYI, I just got hey, your battery's low notification, so I might have to get up at some point and plug my tablet in.
Okay.
Let me know if you can tell a noticeable drop in quality, because that might be what's happening. So now I get to show you the thing that I made. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. This is all other people's artwork, so I'm not going to take credit for it. I just copy pasted. It says, "Give socks free elves." I did color it in myself because I wanted him to have like a little green Slytherin sock.
Oh, of course you did.
Yes, I did. And it's appropriate because the Malfoys were the ones, you know, it was their elf, so.
Uh-huh.
And then I've got a little Pusheen as a present. Isn't he just so cute? Pusheen, I love you. Okay, and then I got a cat bug. And it says, "Everything is okay."
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
And he's got little cooking mittens on.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then I've got a little knit heart,
Uh-huh.
which I actually went and, like, colored around the edges because I'm crazy.
Uh-huh.
And everybody's favorite knitter, No Face.
Yes. From what movie?
Spirited Away.
Yes.
And I actually had him working on red things because I thought, that's appropriate. Red and pink. He'd be knitting little, like, he's knitting something with hearts. I thought that was cute.
Yes.
Anyway, so I'll zoom back. I don't know if you'll be able to read it, but it says, "Free a house help, learn to knit." And then in tiny letters it says, "or crochet." Absolutely free. Just ask. So now when I'm knitting at the coffee shop, I always have my little plastic bin that has my pattern in it, and my book stand for when I'm using a book. So I just prop this up when I'm knitting so that people can feel free to come up and ask me questions, because I always have my resting bitch face on because I'm focused.
Yeah.
You know? Like, so people stop and they kind of stare and they're like not sure if they can talk. So I put this up so that they're like, yeah, it's cool. You can talk to me. It's going to be okay. Like, I know I look evil, but that's just in my genes.
It's just kind of how we look.
I was born that way. I was born evil. So, and I've actually sparked a couple conversations with it. So it's been good.
Oh, good. That sounds so nice. What inspired you to do that? I mean, you just wanted to make sure people could come up and talk to you, or what?
Well, it was a combination of that and, like, sort of wanting to give back to the community, because the coffee shop where I go a lot, everybody that goes there is pretty open-minded. It's mostly, like, a young liberal crowd, although not necessarily young. But, and I've seen other knitters there before, too. So, one of the ladies in knit group had a bunch of yarn that she didn't want, and I thought, that's a perfect thing. I'll take this crap yarn, like, I'll get it off her hands, and I'll use it for teaching people how to knit. So, one of our fellow crafters passed away from cancer, so we inherited some of her knitting stuff, like the needles and stuff, so I ended up with a bunch of, here, I'll pull it down so you can actually see it, really huge, wooden needles and stuff that mostly aren't that useful in the general run of things. So I figured, this is perfect. I have yarn and needles that I can give away to people. I'll just take it with me, and then, like, anybody that wants to learn how to knit, I can literally give them needles and yarn. So
that's a nice service to the community.
I just thought, why the heck not, That way they at least have something to take home, whether or not they continue on with it.
But also, this sounds like a new you. This doesn't sound like something you would have done 5 years ago.
Maybe. I don't know.
So, go you.
I like teaching people.
As do I.
I think that's kind of on Mom's side of the family. Oh, you're spinning! What are you spinning?
So, your conversation made me think of the spinning because I made a spinner friend, and she has other spinner friends, and we went to the coffee shop, and we were spinning in the coffee shop. so 2 people brought their wheels. So there were 2 wheels and 2 of us on spindles. And, people are curious. They're very curious about what you're doing and why you're doing it. And somebody was like, can I take pictures?
I know, right? It's awesome.
So, so it was really fun. And, then these couple old guys, I think they, kind of meet at the coffee shop to, shoot the things that come out your butt. And then, they just sat down and they were really nice and just kind of were like talking to us like, hey, you want to make a sweater, and you know how people do. And then after, they had, they kind of sat with us for, 40 minutes or so. And after, like, whenever we were all getting ready to leave around the same time, and they're like, I understand why you said no now that I've watched you make this.
Right.
Over the course of 40 minutes. I understand now why you were like, yeah, it'll be $5,000.
Right.
Okay, so here is, I'm going to try to get, yay, my spinning.
That's really nice.
So I haven't touched this at all since that day, which is like a month ago. I don't know, I don't spend that much at home. I don't know. So there's a farm near here called Ranch of the Oaks, and they have alpacas and llamas there. And so this is a 50 wool, 50 alpaca blend. It's 4 ounces. And so they have their own mill there, to go from dirty fleece to fiber and all the way to yarn. They also make their own yarn. But it's kind of like this little pull ball, so I can just pull it out of the bag. So I'm enjoying it, and it's also a really nice, because somebody said, I think it's the llama has a long staple length. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm learning. So it's easy to spin with because it doesn't break all the time, right? Because it's like
better for beginners.
Yeah, it's nice. So I am enjoying it as a beginning fiber to learn how to spin on. And the spinning, it's really fun. I don't know why I don't do it at home. I don't know. I guess it's something I like to do in public.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Then we get credit for it. And converts.
So, yeah, those are my whips. Do you have any more whips?
No. Mostly it's been school, because I've gone back to school, so.
Well, what are you working on right now?
At school?
No, in your hands.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. I forgot about these guys. Yeah, like, they're so in my life, like, all the time. I pretty much get a row done a week on these. These are the Gryffindor mitts from let me look at the name of the magazine again, because I always forget. Unofficial Harry Potter Knits magazine. And I'm actually doing them in a much more Gryffindor color, so I'm happy about that. Even though I'm not, like, really Gryffindor-like. I thought, why were these mitts not in red in the first place? They made them in, like, this blue, gray, green color.
Ravenclaw.
Yeah, but then why are they called Gryffindor mitts?
I don't know.
That is what they're called, right? Like, I'm not crazy? Yeah, Sword of Gryffindor. Not. Sword of Gryffindor mitts.
Oh, because it's the color of the sword, I guess, or something.
Yeah, maybe.
What's this light doing? Oh, that's better.
But, I can't do this all the time because the lace panel. Probably not going to get this in here since the light in here is not very fantastic.
Oh, I can see it.
Okay. Yeah, so I can't do that all the time. So I get to work on that. I have a half an hour that I go to the knit group now because I have class. And I don't go every week all the time now. So, but I still try to go because I love my knit ladies and I like to knit. So eventually these might get done. Maybe. But you know how I am with things that come in twos. Really thinking I should have probably got a really long needle and done 2 at a time.
Yeah, there's a reason I knit 2 socks at a time.
Yeah, but, you know. And
I just like being done. But I feel like doing those mitts 2 at a time would have been confusing.
Yeah, that's true. And I've been rewriting the pattern as I go along because it wasn't, I mean, it's condensed for the magazine.
Right.
And some of the terms weren't very clear, or not in common usage. So people were like, what does this mean? Like, I look it up, and I'm like, well, I guess it is an official term, but when nobody knows what it means, how does that matter? So, on my Ravelry page, I've actually rewritten, at least up to the placket overlap, just so that I have something to follow along with. So, oh, hello, Timber. Oh, is that his little, where is my cat tag?
Yes, this is his tracker.
Yeah.
So Terry's phone has the thing on it, but it'll beep,
So cute.
and we can find him. Because sometimes he runs away and we're like, where are you? Where are you? You silly boy.
Doing his man cat things.
Yeah. And when the other day he came home with muddy paws, I'm like, where have you been, Mr. Muddy Paws?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah. So I have a finished object because it's been like a year and a half since I talked to you. I don't know how long it's been. It's been a long time. But anyway, this is recent. Yay! I finished my sweater.
Yes. Show me where you had to undo it. Like, how much of it did you redo?
Okay, so, originally the whole sweater had this, ribbing at the waist, and my original idea is that it would pull in and give me a nice defined waist. That is not at all what happened. It just kind of looked dumb when I put it on, which, I mean, I tried something, whatever, it didn't work. But then I just kept knitting. So then it was all the way done. All of this was done, and I didn't like it, so then I put it in timeout for 3 years.
That'll show it.
You bad sweater, you! So I actually, I didn't know it had been that long until I decided, I dug it out one Saturday. I was feeling mopey, and I don't know, I just felt like finally doing it. So, I got it out, and then when I went into Rav to update it, I was like, you've been in timeout for 3 years. So, the whole front side now does not have the ribbing. So I went in and did surgery. So I cut, let's see if I can show this. I cut right down here and opened it up, and then I took out a row in here. And actually when I had knit it, I had slipped some of the knit stitches to make the transition go easier. So I actually was taking out the row that was just the purl stitch columns. Very convenient.
Right.
So you can actually, you can kind of see, there's still a row where you can see where there were some slipped stitches. Yeah. Both here and here. But I'm like, it's done! So I don't care. Yeah. And, so anyway, I took that row out and then unknit the purl columns and reknit them as knit stitches.
Right.
And then I reattached it with Kitchener stitch.
Good job.
And that's how I avoided ripping out the bottom of my sweater. You know what? I think it was faster. Because I did accomplish all of that in one Saturday. Mm-hmm. I did watch an entire anime series while I was doing that. But it did only take one Saturday, and I feel like it would have taken more than one Saturday if I had ripped the entire body to reknit it. But anyway, I finally did it, and then when that was done, I was like, okay, yay, time to start on the sleeves. And I knit sleeves 2 at a time, because if I don't do one, I have done sleeves 1 at a time before, and then they end up different sizes. So 2 at a time just means I make the same mistakes on the same sleeves at the same time. Except the first time I did this, it's 55 stitches on one sleeve and 52 on the other. 55. That's not divisible by any kind of knitting math you need it to be divisible by. What happened? So, I was all the way through to like here. So I ripped all of the 55 sleeve out, decreased 3 stitches, and then re-knit the sleeve. And then I went again 2 at a time and finished the sleeves. And now it's done. And I love it. I wore it like 3 days in a row. And I thought it wouldn't look good with collared shirts, but it does. And I love it. And now, of course, it warmed up, so now it's too hot to wear it.
Of course.
Did I tell you where these yarns are from?
Maybe at one time, but I don't remember now.
So the pink is an alpaca blend, and I made a pillow out of it as a gift for somebody. Pre-Ravelry. That's how long.
Wow.
Then the blue is a yarn I got from New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody had like hand spun it.
Wow.
Yay. So, and then the gray I think was just in my stash, and I wanted to make a sweater, and I was like, well, I don't quite have enough gray, but if I add these stripes in, I could use up these other colors and extend the length of the sweater.
Right.
So, I ended up getting 3/4 length sleeves out of it. Which I originally was like, oh man, I didn't get full sleeves, but I love the 3/4 length sleeve now. Like, I don't know why I had such a thing against them. I love this sweater. It's a top down, by the way. I don't think I said that. And I just made up the pattern as it went along, which is probably also why I had some difficulty with it, because I didn't really know what I was doing.
Yeah, pre-Ravelry, yeah.
Well, the sweater itself is not pre-Ravelry, but this yarn is.
Okay.
The pink yarn is pre-Ravelry. No, the sweater's not. The sweater's only 3 years old.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't know what I was thinking.
I look like a bobblehead when I do this. I'm just going to keep doing this. It looks funny. Okay, I'm done. So I'm really excited that that's done. I haven't had a finished object in ages because I've been working on this blanket since last year.
Right. Although you've made a lot of progress with that.
Yes. And we're back.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Like I never unplugged the router.
Don't do that. I have yarn.
Yay, show me.
So this is called, let's see, Train Case. Mrs. Crosby. And the colorway is called Cambria Cool. It's clearly from Cambria, the little town on the California coast. And it's superwash merino wool, nylon, and 30% Outlast viscose. In other words, acrylic.
Right.
Anyway, it's really pretty. The colors, I can't get it to do the... Oh, that's better. Right colors. Anyway, it's like way prettier in person. It's these teals and blues and little speckles of purple, and it had my name written all over it. And they just had them overflowing in a basket on the counter. I had to have one. I actually got a lot of yarn at that trip because they were having a sale.
Right.
So I also got 2 sweater quantities worth. One for Terry, one for me. And some other goodies and things.
Right.
Oh, but I will talk about them later. On another day. I got the Cubics needles.
Oh, okay.
The square ones. So,
right.
They're square. I don't know how else to show that. Hey, look at that. They're square. Mom got me one for Christmas, like ages ago, because she's like, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, I want these square needles. Buy me 2. But I don't know if I don't know. I could have very well have not told her to buy me 2. So she only bought me 1. And I can't knit socks with only one. I need two.
Right.
Two. So anyway, I finally, when I was at the Cambria store, found another one. So I bought two. They are totally and completely different. They are not the same length. Okay?
Whoa.
That is not a little bit different.
Yeah.
That's not a little bit different. That's like an 1.5 to 3, maybe like 2 inches, 3 inches different. That is not the same length. Now granted, it's been like at least a year, 2 years in between purchases of these Cubics needles.
Right.
So they probably changed how they were making them. But the length should not be that different.
Right.
It should still be this. The cables are very different. One is really thick and the other's really thin. The joins also totally different. This join is actually bigger than the needle. So when I try to use them, I have to like shove the stitches. Oh, it was not pleasant. They're super pointy.
Yeah.
So they just kept splitting my yarn. I did not have a good experience. Clearly, because I took them off. I took my socks off and I'm using my old needles. So,
yeah.
Not for me. Am I going to try square needles again? I will probably try some square needles again. I might try these with a different yarn. I think that maybe my squishy, I think like a woolier yarn might work better with these. But also, I can just bend them. So when I'm knitting, they just bend.
Mm-hmm.
They're like not, this is not, I'm mathing. Can you see that it's bent?
Yes.
Not impressed. Oh, and then they're bendy too. Like, let's see, I think it's this one. Yeah, this one that's just bent. It's just bent.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to make it, kind of so not too stiff in your hands, but like that's a serious bend in the needle. So, not for me. Not for me. I'm going to keep them and try again, maybe with another pair, another kind of sock, another pair, but I just don't think they're going to be for me. The other thing was, I've been reading more poetry. I finally subscribed to Poetry Magazine. I have always loved poetry, and I've been cleaning up my life and making room for things that I love, and so while I was cleaning out things, I found my own poetry writing. Oh my gosh, my teenage poetry. Oh, it's so bad. And so emotional and just, it's such a kick. Anyway, and then I also found my poetry from college and and I really wanted some more new poetry. So I subscribed to this magazine, partly also because I want to find new poets that I like to read. Mm-hmm. And so this is a great way. You get a compendium of different authors.
Right.
One of the things I really liked is they have, it's not all white people. Yay! People of color. So I really like to listen to voices of people of color and instead of talking all the time, because white people are good at talking and not very good at listening. So, also there's a poem in here by Joyce Carol Oates, who's such a great author, and it's just it was really nice to read, and I am super excited that I will be getting these in the mail, and I'm getting my poetry fix.
Yay!
Yes! The last thing, so I've been following Marie Kondo and The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. And my closet, there's nothing in it. No, there's a few things in it. But this used to be like shoved full of just stuff. It was just like whatever is left over, I'm going to shove it up in the closet. And now I get to ask myself, what do I want to store there? Instead of just storing things everywhere.
Right.
And I haven't decided. And I don't have to decide right now. But the first step for Marie Kondo is discarding. So you pretty much go through everything in your house and touch it and decide if it brings you joy or not. And if it brings you joy, you keep it. And if you doesn't, you get rid of it. And people are like, oh no, I'm going to have to get rid of all this stuff. But if you like it, you get to keep it. So if you touch it and you like it, you can keep it. Yay! So it's not like you have to get rid of one thing every day. I did that once. I tried that. That's totally because then you end up saving things. She's totally right. Everything that I've read comes true. And she's so right because I did that before too. Get rid of one thing every day. If that works for you, more power to you. But what I did was I would get rid of something and then I would save something for the next day. I'm like, oh, I'll get rid of this magazine tomorrow. It'll be the thing I get rid of tomorrow. Why not just get rid of it right now?
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm at the storage phase of trying to decide where to store things.
Uh-huh.
She says that when you're discarding, you listen to your heart. And when you're storing, you listen to your house.
Mm.
So, I think I might end up storing my crafting supplies up here and getting rid of another piece of. I have a separate little piece of furniture that's like an extra mini closet that I keep all my crafting supplies in, and it'd be nice if I could also get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's it for me today.
Me too.
And it's actually still recording. I've been obsessively looking at it.
It's funny. Yes, and I hope my internet is on, otherwise I'm talking to myself. That's the whole thing.
Oh, one other thing. I can show you my bullet journal.
Yes.
Have I shown this to you yet?
I don't know. You might. I know you've talked about it, but I don't remember if you showed me.
Okay, well, I'm super excited. So I've jumped on a bullet journaling thing. I got onto it from the Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup. There's a thread in Hufflepuff about bullet journaling. So I started doing it. So here's January. And the dates are on the side, and then appointments and whatever on the dates. This is so helpful for me. It's so helpful. It's been so nice. I don't know what it is about me and calendars that just don't work, but having something that I can just do whatever I need to do with has been really nice. Then over here, because I was just working on my blanket, this was actually my knitting progress keeper. So anytime I did a row on my blanket, I would color in a square. And then, because I wanted to color in squares, I would do more rows. Because I'm I could color in more squares. So then you can see, I started out, knitting, one a day or something. And then I'm wee!
Squares!
I want to color in the squares. So then I started out doing, these daily logs. I just started out doing, the basic, this is how they have their basic, to-do list and stuff, which was great. And then I didn't do it at all in February.
Right.
Because it's trying to build, something that works for you, so I'm still, figuring it out.
Right.
This page has been super helpful. This is my planning page for my concert. So whenever I have an idea for my concert, because I teach music to kindergarten through 6th graders, I just have been putting it in here. And then, these are, pieces. So I haven't decided which group I'm going to do it with, so that I can just kind of move them around, and it's been so nice. And then, because this is always with me, if I have an idea and I'm out somewhere, I can just write it down instead of forgetting it.
Right.
I tried writing some curriculum plans for the month of January. You can see that did not go very well. I didn't really use it. So, alright, not gonna do that again. Oh, this is my page. This is one of my favorite pages. This is quotes from Marie Kondo's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. So these are all, I had fun, because I don't own the book, I was just, I just have it on my Kindle. I just took it out of the library on my Kindle. So I was writing down all the things that I didn't want to forget so that I could kind of reference it.
Right.
When I was going through things. these are some more months. So then so you can see here's February. And then literally I didn't use the other page for February. So I'm like, all right, March on the other side.
Yep.
Nice. And then this is what my week looks like now. So I'm trying a weekly spread. So I have the whole week there. And then like Saturday, I go through and put all the days down and then put what I want to do on each day. And I'm trying to do like these stepwise goals to get myself into some more routines. But one of the things that's been really good is like I had a goal of only watching one TV episode per day. And I have so much more time. Because I'm not binge watching for 4 hours and then have to go to bed.
Right.
But then also on the bottom is I have a meal plan. Terry and I have been just like at the beginning of the week talking about what we want to eat during the week. And then when we go to the market, instead of buying random stuff, we buy things that will make meals.
Right.
Revolutionary concept.
I know, right?
Adulting!
Can
do's. And then there's this really big trend in bullet journaling of doing these habit trackers. And I was like, I don't know. But I was like, I'll just try it. You know, I'll try it out. But look, it's coloring in more squares. I get to color in squares. Coloring!
So easily motivated.
Yay! So my habit trackers are power nap, take a bath, or meditate. So that's like self-care. Tai Chi. I've been trying to do Tai Chi in the morning. And then practicing my Kung Fu things. Making stuff for Teachers Pay Teachers. Watching one episode of TV or less. Doing the dishes and getting in bed by 9. You can see the bottom is getting in bed by 9. I did that the first day. It hasn't happened.
Yeah. I actually set an alarm on my phone to go off every day. And it just says, big girls go to bed.
Yeah. So, I think I'm going to have to reevaluate that goal because it wasn't even, so my thing was if I get in bed by 9, I'll color it in. If I get in bed by 9:30, I'll color it in half. I haven't even colored it in by half. So I think I need to reevaluate the goal because it's not even like it wasn't happening. It wasn't even close to happening. But then there's also like a page of finances and keeping track of my ear surgery things and it's just nice to have it all in one place. So I'm trying to keep on track of it. And then also like the thing about bullet journaling is when you search for bullet journals, like on Pinterest, you come up with these fancy pages.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you like to do that, great. But that's going to take a lot of time. And like this needs to be useful for me. And it's not going to be useful if I have to spend lots and lots of time on it.
Right. So,
there's a lot of things I like about it. So I'm trying to stick with it so that I can keep having the things that I really need in it. And then also, like, it's totally, you can do what you want with it, you know?
Right.
So, yeah. So anyway, that's my bullet journaling stuff.
I thought of something that I wanted to talk with you about, which was, I've been reading, just sort of recreational novels in between all of my science reading for school. And I read a book called The Girl with All the Gifts. Because I saw a trailer for a movie, for the movie of it, and I thought, oh, that looks awesome. Like, I super want to see that. But it had been a while since the movie had even come out. Like, I never even heard that it came out. So I just kind of made a mental note that I wanted to watch it at some point. But then I came across the book at the library, so I thought, well, heck, I'll check out the book, you know. Always better to go from book to movie instead of the other way around. My opinion. I really liked it.
Opinion.
Right. It's another take on zombie stuff, but I really enjoyed Not necessarily the way it was written, just the kind of concepts that it was exploring.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of just, like, things about, like, I guess, zombie tropes, that I didn't really consider before. So it was fun. I liked it. I'd recommend it. And ironically, one of my friends was actually, she picked up the movie to watch right as I was reading it. I was like, how serendipitous. You know, like, it's been out for a while.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Like, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
But don't worry.
You movie watchers.
Yeah. But I got through it pretty fast, even though it's a little thick. But it was fun. I'd recommend it. It was, I think you might find sort of the sciencey parts of it interesting.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But it is a little thick and sort of heavy on the internal, like, monologuing sort of,
Mm-hmm.
well, not monologuing, but just, you know, more thinking, less action. So it might not be a book you could pick up until school's done.
Oh, here comes the action. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, right. Pretty much.
Not like I've ever done that.
Right? So.
I just want to know what's happening.
I don't need to know how you feel. Who cares how you feel?
Write a poem about how you feel and then get back to it.
Right? Yeah.
So, anyway. Oh, good. Cool.
So I'm interested in seeing the movie, too, because I want to see how they turn such a thought-heavy book into... I mean, it's got to be more action-oriented. It's a movie. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
visual.
Lots of long shots looking longingly into the distance.
Yeah, while they monologue over it. No, I'm assuming from the trailer that it's a lot more action-oriented. So we'll see.
Also, Beauty and the Beast. Oh, I'm so excited.
I know. I'm excited on the one hand, and I'm like so swamped with school. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I have a temporary date set with friends just so that we could go watch it, but it's like, I don't have time to, like, go online and figure out everybody's schedules so we can make sure that we get seats together and on the opening day like I had wanted to, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'll just be glad to see it while it's in the theater.
Oh, that's only ever my goal.
Right?
Like, I missed Moana. Like, oopsie daisies. Oh,
yeah.
well. So.
Oh, wait, no, since you mentioned Moana.
Yes.
Listen, did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it.
You have to see it in particular. It's worth buying. The music is phenomenal.
I know.
So.
I know.
Well, if you don't watch it until your birthday, I mean, your birthday is like a long time away, but if you still haven't got around to it by then, at least you know what you're getting for your birthday.
Hey!
Alrighty.
Good.
Thanks for joining us. We're running out of time, so we're gonna snap it a little.
Okay. Come find us on Rav. We're going to do show notes on Rav to make our lives easier and your life easier. Be great.
It'll be awesome.
It'll be great. Come say hi. Bye!
I have no idea where electricity comes from. The wall!
Well, now I have to leave this in. Okay, now we're really recording.
Lies!
We're back!
Yes!
It's showing me little blippy things this time.
Because some of us make mistakes like unplugging a router while trying to podcast, and some of us forget to hit record. We've been a team today.
Yay, team!